प्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
श्रीमद् भागवतम Canto 2, Chapter 4, Verse 14. नमो नमस्ते स्वर्षभाय सात्वताम्
नमो नमस्ते
नमस्ते
स्तवभाय सात्वताम्
विदूरकाष्ठाय मुहुः
विदुरकास्थाय मुहुर्भुयोगिनाम्
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मनिरंश्यते नमः
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि रंशते नमः।
नमो नमस्ते स्वर्षभाय सात्वताम्
नमो नमस्ते स्तवृषभाय सात्वताम्
विदूरकाष्ठाय मुहुकुयोगिनाम्
विदुरकाष्ठाय मुहुकुयोगिनाम्
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मनिरंस्यते नमः
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि रंशते नमः।
नमो नमस्ते स्वर्षभाय सात्वताम्
नमो नमस्ते सवृषभाय सात्वताम्
विदूरकाष्ठाय मुहुकुयोगिनाम्
विदुरकाष्ठाय मुहुर्योगिनाम्
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मनिरंस्यते नमः
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि रंशते नमः।
Please recite.
नमो नमस्ते ऋषभाय सात्वताम्
नमो
नमस्ते
नमस्ते
स्वर्षभाय
सवृषभाय
सात्वताम्
सात्वताम्
विदुरकाष्ठाय मुहुर्योगिनाम्
विदूरकाष्ठाय
विदुरकाष्ठाय मुहुर्योगिनाम्
योगिनाम्
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
स्वधाम्नि ब्रह्मणि रंस्यते नमः
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि
ब्रह्मनिरंस्यते
रंशते
नमः
नमः। नमो नमस्ते सवृषभाय सात्वताम्
नमो नमस्ते स्वर्षभाय सात्वताम्
विदुरकाष्ठाय मुहुर्योगिनाम्
विदूरकाष्ठाय मुहुकुयोगिनाम्
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि रंस्यते नमः।
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मनिरंस्यते नमः. Translation and purport by Stephen Grace Abhay Charnarinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जय।
Synonyms. Nama Namaste. Nama Namaste. Let me offer my obeisances unto you.
नमः नमः। Let me offer my obeisances unto
you.
Astu our.
Astu our
Rishabhaya unto the great associate.
Rishabhaya, unto the great associate.
Satvatham of the members of the Yadu dynasty.
Satvatam, unto the members of the Hindu dynasty.
Vidurakasthaya, one who is fair from mundane wranglers.
Vidurakasthaya, one far from
mundane wranglers.
Muhu always.
always
Kuyoginam of the non-devotees.
Who yogina of the non-devotees.
Nirasta vanquished.
Nirasta Krish.
Nirasta.
Samya equal status.
Samya equal status.
Atishayena by greatness.
Atishaya
Atishayana
by
by greatness.
Radhasa by opulence.
Rajasa by
opulence.
Swadamani in his own abode.
Swadhama in his own abode.
Brahmani in the spiritual sky.
Brahman,
Brahmani.
the spiritual sky.
Ramsyate enjoys.
Ramsya
Ramsya
joys.
enjoys.
Nama I do bow down.
Nama. Do
Do
bow.
Translation, please repeat after me. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty.
Let me offer
my
respectful
respectful
unto
obeisances to him
who is the associate of the members of the Hindu
Yadu
dynasty,
dynasty,
And who is always a problem for the non-devotees.
and who is
is a
always
problem for non-devotees.
He is the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds.
He is the
he is
supreme
the
enjoyer
supreme
of both the
enjoyer of
material
both the
and
material and spiritual worlds.
Yet he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky.
yet
Yet
he enjoys his
his
own
own in
the
the
spiritual.
spiritual sky.
There is no one equal to him because
No one equal to him because
his transcendental opulence is immeasurable.
his
His
chance
transcendental
opulence
is
is immeasurable.
immeasurable.
Purport.
Purport. There are two sides of the transcendental manifestations of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. For the pure devotees, he is the constant companion, as in the case of his becoming one of the family members of the Yadu dynasty, or his becoming the friend of Arjuna, or his becoming the associate neighbor of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, as the son of Nanda Yashoda, the friend of Sudama, Sridama, and Madhu Mangala, or the lover of the damsels of Vrajamuni, etc. That is part of his personal features, and by his impersonal feature, he expands the rays of the Brahmajyoti, which is limitless and all pervasive. Part of his all pervasive Brahmajyoti, which is compared to the sun rays, is covered by the darkness of the Mahatattva, and this insignificant part there are innumerable universes like the one we can experience, and in each of them there are hundreds of thousands of planets, like the one we are inhabiting. The mundaners are more or less captivated by the unlimited expansion of the rays of the Lord, but the devotees are concerned more with his personal form, from which everything is emanating. Janmadhyasya yata. As the sun rays are concentrated in the sun disk, the Brahmajyoti is concentrated in Goloka Vrindavan, the topmost spiritual planet in the spiritual sky. The immeasurable spiritual sky is full of spiritual planets named Vaikuntha.
Far beyond the material sky, the mundaners have insufficient information of even the mundane sky. So, what can they think of the spiritual sky? Therefore, the mundaners are always far, far away from him. Even if in the future they are able to manufacture some machine whose speed may be accelerated to the velocity of the wind or mind, the mundaners will still be unable to imagine reaching the planets in the spiritual sky. So the Lord and his residence abode will always remain a myth or mysterious problem. But for the devotees, the Lord will always be available as an associate. Go on.
Yes, sir.
In the spiritual sky.
So can you highlight where it was? In the spiritual sky, his opulence is immeasurable. The Lord resides in all the spiritual planets, the innumerable Vaikunthas, planets, by expanding his plenary portions along with his liberated devotee associates. But the impersonalists who want to merge in the existence of the Lord are allowed to merge as one of the spiritual sparks of the Brahmajyoti. They have no qualifications for becoming associates of the Lord, either in the Vaikuntha planets or in the supreme planet Goloka Vrindavan, described in the Bhagavad Gita as Mad Dhama, and here in this verse as the Swadhama of the Lord. This Madhama or Swadhama is described in the Bhagavad Gita 15.6 as follows: Na tad bhashyate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. The Lord's Swadhama does not require any sunlight or moonlight or electricity for illumination. That Dhama or place is supreme, and whoever goes there never comes back to this material world. The Vaikuntha planets and the Goloka Vrindavan planet are all self illuminating, and the rays scattered by those Swadhama of the Lord constitute the existence of the Brahmajyoti. As further confirmed in the Vedas, like the Mundaka Upanishad 2.2.10, Katha Upanishad 2.2.15, and Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.14. न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तत्र काम नेमा विद्युत भान्ति कुतोऽयम् अग्नि तम एव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वम् idam vibhati. In the Swadhama of the Lord, there is no need of sun, moon, or stars for illumination, nor is there need of electricity. So, what to speak of ignited lamps? On the other hand, it is because those planets are self-illuminating that all effulgence has become possible. But and whatever there is that is dazzling is due to the reflection of that Swadhama. One who is dazzled by the effulgence of the impersonal Brahmajyoti cannot know the personal transcendence. Therefore, in the Isha Upanishad 15, it is prayed that the Lord shift his dazzling effulgence so that the devotees can see the real reality. It is spoken thus: हिरण्मयेन पत्रेण सत्यास्य पीहितं मुखं तत्त्वं पुषन् अपावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये. O Lord, you are the maintainer of everything, both material and spiritual, and everything flourishes by your mercy. Your devotional service or bhakti yoga is the actual principle of religion, Satya Dharma, and I am engaged in that service. So kindly protect me by showing your real face. Please, therefore, remove the veil of your Brahma Jyoti rays so that I can see your form of eternal bliss and knowledge.
हरि ओं तत्सविज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमो आचार्यपदाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथा धामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमः। विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम Ram Ram Hare 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 Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Hare Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudanam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panguna Kaite Girim Kripatamam De Sri Gurundena Tarinam Paramananda Padavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. So Sukadeva Goswami is offering his respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Lord Sri Krishna. The Lord is the reservoir of all cosmic manifestation, animate as well as inanimate. And the advocates of Visishtadvaitavada philosophy explains that the Vedanta Sutra by saying that although the living entity has two kinds of bodies, subtle, that is of mind intelligence and false ego, and the gross consists of the five basic elements. And although he thus lives in three bodily dimensions, gross, subtle, and spiritual, he is nevertheless originally a spirit soul. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who emanates the material and spiritual worlds, is the Supreme Spirit. As an individual spirit soul is almost identical to the gross and subtle bodies, so the Supreme Lord is also almost identical to the material and spiritual worlds. The material world, full of conditioned souls, trying to lord it over the matter. That is manifestation of the external energy of Krishna. And the spiritual world, full of perfect servitors of the Lord, is a manifestation of his internal energy. And the living entities are minute sparks of the Supreme Lord. So he is the Supreme Soul, both the material and the spiritual worlds. In both of the world, he is the Supreme Soul. So the Vaishnavas followed Lord Chaitanya stressed the doctrine of Achintya Beda Abeda Tattva. That states that the Supreme Lord, being the cause and effect of everything, is inconceivably, simultaneously one with his manifestations of energy and different from them. So, he is the Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, all three words. And the word Maheshwara means the supreme proprietor. Krishna, he is the supreme proprietor of both the material as well as the spiritual world. The spiritual world is divided into two parts. And one is Goloka Vrindavana and the Vaikunthas. And the material world is a combination of all the universes, unlimited in number. And he is the proprietor of both. He is the supreme controller of both the material and spiritual worlds. Is different incarnations of unlimited categories. Incarnations like Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Prutu, and Vyasa. They are all material qualitative incarnations. Then he has incarnations like Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha, Vamana. They are transcendental incarnations. And Krishna, he is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Ete Chamse Kalapumsa, and he is therefore the cause of all causes. So, he expands himself in many forms. Some of them are personal expansions, some are separate expansions. So, in this way, he performs pastimes in both the spiritual as well as the material world. And the spiritual worlds are the Vaikunthas planets, and the material universes are the Brahmandas, gigantic globes, governed by Lord Brahma. So, the material manifestation is also identical with the Supreme Personality of God because it is his energy. The qualitative material nature, its products are never identical with the Supreme Lord. Because the tendency to lord it over material nature or Maya cannot be a feature of the Supreme. But in both the spiritual and material world, he is always the controller of all energies. So, the beauty is that the devotees, they offer obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whenever you see in all the slokas, whenever Krishna is taken, it is not that, okay, offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Not like that. Whenever they say Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they always add a wonderful glory of the Lord. They take the Lord's name with his glory. In every verses we have seen from Canto 1 onwards, Krishna, the carrier of the charioteer wheel, when Bhishma Dev told. Okay, so in this way, and here Sukadeva Goswami is telling that I offer respectful obeisances unto him who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty and who is always a problem for the non-devotees, who is the supreme enjoyer of both material and spiritual worlds. So in this way, whenever we take the name of Krishna anywhere, you will find that a glorification is associated with his name. His name is all glories to his name. So his names are taken always along with a particular glorification according to the mood of the devotee where he is speaking of Krishna. When Bhishma Dev was speaking about Krishna, he said, Krishna, the carrier of the chariot wheel. Why chariot wheel carrier? Because that's a personal pastime that happened between Bhishma and Krishna. So he remembers that. Like that, every devotee can never forget and always remember a pastime that happened, a reciprocation that he has received from Lord Krishna on some occasion. That becomes the wonderful, wonderful remembrance for the devotee. In this way, he never forgets Krishna. And here, Sri Sukadeva Goswami is telling that as associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty. So in this way, in previous words also, he was telling not just Krishna, but he said, in the first words, he said, Krishna who incarnates in the three modes of material nature as the Gunavatar. So like that, some of his, wonderful Leela, wonderful pastime, they are always telling when they are offering obeisances. So in the 13th verse, we saw that I offer my respectful obeisances unto the form of complete existence and transcendence, who is the liberator of the pious devotees from all distresses and the destroyer of the further advances in atheistic temperament. So both devotees and non-devotees, he is very kind. Means some quality they are adding whenever they are talking of Krishna. You can note that point. In every verse we are seeing, wherever Krishna is there, they are always, the devotees are adding. They don't say just Krishna. They say Krishna, the supreme enjoyer. Krishna, the deliverer of pious. Krishna, the destroyer of the further advances in the temperament of non-devotee demons. So that all shows that he is kind to both demon and demigods. It all shows that he is enjoyer of both the spiritual and material world. And in today's words, it is said that I offer my respectful obeisances unto him, who is the association of the members of the Yadu dynasty. Okay, so I offer my respectful obeisances unto him, who is the son of Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Nandan. So some, quality that, that pleases Krishna. Krishna is attracted when you associate his devotees with him always. Never separate him from the devotee, because he's never, one of the qualities, 64 qualities of Krishna is that he's never alone. He's always found amongst his associates. So when you take his name, he's not different from his name. So how can you separate him from the associates? That is not Krishna, right? So Krishna means his qualities are there. One of the 64 qualities is that he is never alone. He is always present amongst his associates. He always found amongst his associates. So when we say Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, the friend of Yadu dynasty or member of the Yadu dynasty. So he is always, his name is not different from him. So when he is always along with associates, his name also should mean that he is there with associates. So in this way, the pure devotees, glorify Lord Sri Krishna. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments or realization you can share with us? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you very much for the association. Tomorrow is the Vyasa Puja of our dear Guru Maharaj. So 75th Vyasa Puja, everybody should write offering to Guru Maharaj on that particular day. All the well-wishers, sheltered devotees and aspiring devotees and initiated first or second or sannyas initiated devotees, everybody should write the offering letter of glorifying the spiritual master for their own benefit. On the day of Vyasa Puja, it is customary that they should glorify. Actually, every day they should glorify. At least on the day of Vyasa Puja, one must by all means glorify his Guru. So we must, all of you should come back with, if you have already written, you can bring that. If you have not written, please write. Write an offering of glorification to Guru and then come. Tomorrow's class will be, you will all be speaking the glorification of Lord Krishna. Okay, so that will be the agenda for tomorrow. Please pass on this message to others, those who are not attending physically here, that tomorrow they must attend physically and they should glorify, like Sandushta and Preeti and her dad and whoever, this group, our Bhagavatam class group, everybody must glorify the love. They come back with their offering letter, and then they should read their offering, and they can also talk more about Guru Maharaj apart from their offering. Okay, so that will happen tomorrow. Thank you very much. Till then, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Vaishnav Nam. Panchakalpatarubhyasya
Kripa Sindhu
Up
Patitanam
to
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnav
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Guru Maharaj ki jai.